Yo, what's going on guys, and welcome back to another Call of Duty Modern Warfare video. I'm sure, as quite a lot of you know, I'm waking up from a 24-hour live stream yesterday. We played this game for pretty much 24 hours straight, and in doing so, I fully unlocked everything you can get with the M4A1. We now have this weapon at level 71. So I wanted to show you guys the attachments that I'm running, because this weapon is unreal now. Like, the stuff I've put on it, it makes it unbelievable. Literally, you can see in this footage, it's like a laser beam. It just destroys people. So let's have a look at the attachments that I'm running on this, and I'll tell you guys why I've put those on this weapon. So first off, let's start with a suppressor. A suppressor is something that I'll usually run on most of my classes because I just like to sort of stay off the map. So this is the first time I've used a suppressor that actually increases the damage range of the weapon. Usually that's something that the suppressor would actually deduct. So the monolithic suppressor is the last one that you unlock. I can't remember what level it is, but you know, it's like 68, maybe even 70 you unlock this suppressor. And it is so worth putting on your weapon if you want to run a suppressor on your weapon. It's so worth it. The next attachment we're going to have a look at is the barrel. Now there's two barrels that I would sort of weigh up here. Now there is a very, very minor difference between the two barrels that I'd recommend putting on your weapon. Of course, when you start playing with the M4A1, you're going to want to use the newest barrel that's available to you. I personally wouldn't equip the commando. I'd wait until you get the stock M16, because that increases damage range, bullet velocity, and recoil control, which is super useful for this weapon. The one I'm running at the moment is the Corvus Custom Marksman, and the reason I'm running this one is because it gives me a slight tiny bit more mobility, and that's in comparison to the M16 stock. And the M16 stock is marginal, it's tiny, you know, almost insignificantly better than the Corvus in regards to the accuracy, range, and control. Honestly, not worth it. Run the Corvus. You want the mobility, it still gives you the damage, bullet velocity, etc. And finally, because you guys clicked on this video because I've maxed out this weapon, the last one that you can unlock is the FFS Predator. Now I looked at this, I was pretty disappointed. I was expecting like a really cool barrel, but I was pretty happy with the Corvus prior to that. But yeah, this, you know, is good for mobility essentially, but because of the ability stat, it deducts the range of the weapon, also the control and accuracy. Is it worth it? I wouldn't say so. So stick with the Corvus. I never run a laser on my weapons, but if you guys wanted to see, the tac laser is the last one that you unlock when you max out this weapon. Now for this weapon, there's like so many reflex sights that you can get. Like you can get sniper sights, you can get thermal sights, there's multiple optic sights, holographic sights, etc. There's too many of them. Now I'm sure that you're interested in the last one that you unlock, which is like a thermal hybrid. I haven't actually used it just yet because I wanted to stick with the optical sights. I use mini reflex sights because I find that, you know, it doesn't crowd your screen, like your ADS doesn't crowd your screen. You can kind of still see in your peripherals, which is the main reason I don't use holographic or optics. And one thing to note is that, you know, among this abundance of sights, every single one does reduce your, you know, ADS. So that's the one stat that they'll take away. And then all the other stats are just based like off the actual physical thing, so your zoom level, etc. So it's like whether you want to play with a sniper scope. Here I'm looking at the variable zoom scope. I'm not going to run that on an M4, man. So I'd recommend the mini reflex, the Viper reflex, or the one I'm using at the moment, which is the monocle reflex sight. I think it looks really cool actually. The reason I run a red dot is because I just want that clinical accuracy, and it sort of, for me, increases the probability that I'm going to get a headshot. Now let's have a look at the stock. So I'm kind of in between whether or not I should use a stock at the moment, because, you know, it increases accuracy, control, and mobility. Obviously you get the M16 stock, and then if you go to the very last one, which is the one that you guys probably want to see, the Forged Tac CQS. Now this increases mobility and control, and also increases your ADS, but decreases your aiming stability. So I haven't actually got this equipped at the moment. I'm kind of in between this and like a rear grip on my gun. I think at the moment I'm running a rear grip, but I'm considering actually putting the Forged Tac on the M4 just to get that ADS a little bit better, because it's quite slow. It's not that slow though, it's okay at the moment. There are a lot of perks that you can run on your weapon. The one that I would usually run is sleight of hand. So we have FMGA, sleight of hands, wounding, you know, fully loaded, burst, recon. The burst, definitely avoid that, that's abysmal. The more money, headshot XP, that doesn't actually give you that much XP. It's like 30 or something like that, so I wouldn't recommend running that unless you're like, you're trying to level up as quickly as you can. You want every single last drop of XP you can possibly get. If you want that, then put that on, but I wouldn't recommend doing it. Then you have frangible disabling, which slows down enemies if you shoot them in the legs, basically, when they're sprinting, where it disables like tactical sprint and slows them down if you shoot them in the legs. And then the last one is presence of mind, which basically means you can like hold your breath longer if you're using a scope on the M4A1, which we both know no one's going to do that. I currently don't run a perk because the only one that I'm really interested in is sleight of hand, and this weapon reloads pretty quickly with the mag that you use. We'll get to that in a bit. Now, I'm currently not running grip tape at the moment, but I'm just looking at the strippled grip tape, and its pros are ADS and sprint to fire speed. Similar to the stock, it does affect your aiming stability. So I'm considering, yeah, this could be a potential good attachment to put on here. You know, this is one of the last attachments that you unlock, you know, when you get to the latter levels of this weapon. Now, this mag was complete game changer, completely changed the way the gun plays. It just lasers people. It's so good. For those of you that are interested, the last one you unlock when you're like level 70 or 68 or something like that is the .458 SOCOM 10 round mags. Don't use it, mate. It's abysmal. Now, the only reason I say you could use this if you were chopping and changing your gun is if you put like an optical sight on it, or perhaps even like the scope, because it has a high damage but like low rounds. The 9mm Para 32 round mag though is so worth it. Honestly, it completely changes your weapon. Obviously, this decreases your damage and your damage range a tiny bit, and because of the other attachments that we've applied as well as suppressor and whatever that increases those stats, it's balanced out quite nicely. This does increase, however, your fire rate and your aiming recoil control, hence the reason this gun is just an absolute laser. It fires so quickly and you're literally just like dead center. There's barely any recoil that you need to control. Now, the only disadvantage with this is there's only 32 rounds in your clip. I have experienced a little bit of trouble with that, given that I'm not running sleight of hand as well. But I mean, the max you can get in your clip is like 60, or if you're running a different perk, which, you know, gives you your residual ammo source, like from spawn, you'll have a bit more in your mag. But you know, this definitely worth it, complete laser. And if you're not running this, then I'd run a 60 round mag, although that does affect your ADS when you're running like one of the heavy mags, which is the reason why I really like this, because it just increases your fire rate and your aiming recoil control, and it's just amazing. Use it. You'll notice the difference as well, like when you're in gunfights and stuff like that, you'll notice the difference, and you can take people at range. You know, even though it says it takes down your damage range, you can definitely take people at range. And then finally, we're going to look at the underbarrel. Now, weirdly, I'm still running the Commando foregrip, although I did unlock this last one last night, which is the Operator foregrip. Now, the reason I'm running the Commando foregrip at the moment is because recoil stabilization and aiming stability, it just decreases like my movement speed, which isn't a bad con at all. Now, the reason I haven't selected the Operator foregrip, I mean, it offers recoil control, but the con is ADS speed, and my recoil control on this, because of the mag and like, you know, all the other elements that we've got on this gun, is just immaculate. So I definitely would just run the Commando foregrip like from the off, or you can swap it for the tactical foregrip, which gives you like a tiny bit more control. Now, in regards to the skins on this weapon, I haven't gone like on a proper skin grind, but we have unlocked every single tiger skin that's possible. Here's a little look at Blue Tiger, and here's a little look at Red Tiger as well. They look amazing. And then just a quick flick through all the other skins. You know, I'm not too fussed about these ones. I mean, I said in my previous video that I wanted to see Blue and Red Tiger make their way into the game, and now that they have, I'm pretty sure I'm going to run that like on most of my weapons until I unlock, you know, gold and platinum. Also, we've unlocked the skulls camo, which looks kind of cool. We've got a lot more that are, you know, available here. Haven't quite unlocked them yet, but yeah, I'm most gassed about the you know, the Blue Tiger and the Red Tiger. That's, you know, that's what I'm all about. Anyways, guys, I hope you have enjoyed this video and you are excited to get your M4 up to, you know, level 71. Once you do, honestly, give these attachments a shot. Accuracy, damage, you know, control, everything, it's all here in this class setup. It's definitely, for me, the best class setup of the game so far. If you did enjoy this video and you want to see some more Call of Duty content from me, please hit that thumbs up button, subscribe if you're new, make sure you turn on your notifications so you know when I next upload. I'm going to be uploading a lot of content in regards to this game, man. We are ahead of the game right now with that 24-hour stream we did. So yeah, have a good rest of your day, enjoy playing Call of Duty Modern Warfare, and I'll see you guys on the next video.